Hello, today's topic is factor in special cases. You will be able to factor, identify and factor a trinomial that is a perfect square or a binomial that is a difference of two squares. The essential understanding of this lesson is when a trinomial has a pattern of a square plus 2ab plus b squared, then it can be factored as a plus b times a plus b or a plus b squared. When a trinomial has a pattern a square minus 2ab plus b squared, then it can be factored as a minus b times a minus b or a minus b squared. When a binomial has the pattern a squared minus b squared, then it can be factored as a plus b times a minus b. Now, let's go and solve some of these trinomials. What is the factored form of this trinomial? Now, taking in consideration what special patterns are helpful when factoring a perfect square trinomial and the difference of two squares. As we mentioned in essential understanding, a plus b times a plus b is equal to a plus b squared, and it gives us the pattern here, a squared. So the first term squared, the last term is squared, and the second term is twice a times b. Let's take into consideration this one here. A squared plus 14x plus 49. Now we have to write the last term as a perfect square. Let's see if the last term is a perfect square. So what is a perfect square? 49. So this will be 7 squared. Okay, and we bring down everything else as it is for now. X squared plus 14x plus 7 squared. So this is the first step. You have to step into it. Now the second step, we have to find if this trinomial fits the pattern, this pattern 2ab. Let's see what is 2ab in this case. 2 times a times b. 2 times a times b. Let's see what it gives us in this case. Okay, 2 times 7. So 2 times 7 times x, right? Because we want to the second term, 2 times 7 times x plus, and we bring down. So this, and it gives us 14x, right? 14x. Okay. Now, let's go and bring down everything else because I think we complete the pattern. X squared plus 2 times 7 x plus 7 squared. Okay, so as we see here in this case, we fit the pattern of the factored form, right? Now let's bring it down as x. So let's bring it down as x, right? X plus 7 times x plus 7, because this we are looking for here, right? Here. So x plus 7, the binomial says plus 7 times x plus 7. Okay, so it fits the term. And this is going to give us when we solve it, x plus 7 squared. 7 squared. 11 squared. Okay, let's go to the next one. 9x squared minus 30x plus 25. Now, you have to be careful to identify the correct values for a and b when factoring special cases. The value of a can be different from x. Write the first and last term as perfect square. Second step, 2ab, to check if the trinomial fits the pattern. Now, what we do in this case is that first we write the last term. So what is the first and last term as a perfect square? Let's see here. 9x squared we can write as a 3x squared, right? 3x squared. This is the first step. We bring down negative 30x, and you follow these steps when you do your work too, to show these steps. Plus, now the last term squared as a perfect square will be 5 squared, right? Now we are done with the first step. The second step, we have to check if 2ab, to check if the trinomial fits the pattern. What is 2ab in this case? Let's see here. 2ab is equal to 2ab 2 times 3 3x times 5, because we need that negative 30 in the middle in the second term. Okay, so this fits. It shows us 2 times 3 times 5, 2 times 3 is 6, times x, 6x, 5 times 5 is 30, so it gives us 30x, and it fits the pattern. Now, let's see now. Let's bring everything down here in the third step. 3x squared minus 2, right, times 3x, okay, 3x times 5 plus 5 squared, okay. Now, as you see the pattern, so the last term is a perfect square, the first term is perfect square, and the trinomial fits the pattern. So we're going to write the binomials. 3x, let's see here now, 3x, the two terms. Okay, 3x minus 3x minus 5 times 3x minus 5. Excellent. And this is equal to 3x minus 5 all squared. Okay. Now, the factored form of a perfect square trinomial is a, as you see here, is a plus b squared when the trinomial fits the pattern of, we did in previous slide, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And a minus b in this case, a minus b squared, so a minus b squared, when the trinomial fits in the pattern, is going to be like this, a squared minus 2ab plus b squared, so this represents the b squared. Okay, now next, this is an example. So you're going to put this trinomial in your Google Doc. You're going to copy from the video, the Google Doc, and you're going to solve it. You're going to show the two steps that I show you. So you're going to factor each trinomial. You have two examples. This is the first example. You have to try it on your own. And this is the second example. You're going to try it on your own. Now we're going to discuss another case. What is the factored form of x squared minus 9? X squared minus 9. To determine whether the factoring rule for a difference of two squares makes sense by working backwards. What do we mean by that, working backwards? Let's see. When a binomial has the pattern a squared minus b squared, then it can be factored as a plus b times a minus b. In this case, we recall that a binomial, so what is the binomial? A squared minus b squared in the form of x squared, so x squared minus a squared, so this is minus a squared. It's called the difference of two squares. So this is called a difference of two squares. So a minus b, as you see here, a minus b times a plus b is equal to, is going to give us a squared minus ab plus ab minus b squared. So it's going to be a squared minus b squared. Okay, write the last term as a perfect square. Let's see here now. Let's write this last term as a perfect square. So what is the perfect square of 9? So it's going to be 3 squared, right? All right, 3 squared. And we bring down the rest, right? Because this is perfect. Okay, x squared. Now, since we have x squared minus 3 squared, let's see, a, in this case, a is equal to x, right? A is equal to x because we don't have a coefficient here. And b is equal to 3. B is equal to 3. All right, now how we're going to write this as a binomial is the binomial. So the binomial fits because we have a equal to x and b equal to 3. Let's write here the factored form. The factored form is going to be x plus 3, x plus 3 plus 3, excuse my handwriting, plus 3 times x minus 3. Minus 3. Okay, so this is the factored form of this binomial. Now, what is the factored form of 4x squared minus ad1? What special patterns are helpful when factoring a perfect square, excuse me, perfect square trinomial and the difference of two squares? In this case, we're going to check to write the first term and last term as perfect squares, so we're following the same strategy. Let's see, in this case, so 4x squared we can write as 2x squared, right? So the first term, 2x squared here. Okay, as I use parentheses. And the last term is going to be 9 squared, right? 9 times 9 is 81. So 9 squared. Now, the first step, I'm okay with the first step. Let's see now with the second step. If the binomial fits the pattern, what we have? So we have a is equal to, okay, sorry. Here, delete this. We have here a is equal to 2x, right? And b is 9. B is 9. So in this case, we see that the binomial fits the pattern. So we write the factored form as 2x plus 9, 2x, right, plus 9. As you see here, we have different, when a is different than x, we have different cases. 2x minus 9, 2x minus 9. When x is equal to a, it's different, it's easier, but we take a further step when we have a different from x. Now, in this case, the binomial fits the pattern, and we have the factored form of 2x plus 9 times 2x minus 9. The difference of two squares is a factoring pattern when one perfect square is subtracted from another. If a binomial follows the pattern, you can factor it as a sum and difference. So since it fits the pattern, we can factor this as a sum and as a difference. So this is the special case. Now, let's go next. Here, this is, you have to copy and put it down in your Google Docs. Give me the steps that I explained in previous slides. So this is try to factor each expression, x squared minus 64, and the next one is 9x squared minus 800. You have to find this factoring to factor form. We're going to have a discussion about these cases when we have a Google Meet. So take care and do your work. Thank you.